Thank you to the organizers for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to exchange some reflections about promises and challenges of using VR for training in sports and especially elite sports. So I'm Frank Milton. I'm head of the Mimetic team in INRIA and M2S laboratory. M2S is a sports science laboratory in Rennes. And so we have explored how to use virtual reality for sports since the beginning of 2000, and we have a long experience in this domain. One of the first promise using VR is that you can standardize a situation. So you can repeat several times the same situation in order to analyze the behavior of a subject, of a sportsman, in front of this situation. So as an example, I take an example in rugby. So imagine you are a defender and you want to stop an attackant, and this attackant is doing some deceptive motion, going left, right, and finally you don't know exactly where he's going. And so the idea is to be able to anticipate the final direction of this attackant to intercept him. So it's a work which has been performed in collaboration with Ulster Rugby in Ireland and Queen's University in Belfast. And so the idea is to use VR in order to simulate different types of attackant motion. And so you can cut the motion at any time. And so that if you cut a motion too early, you can, and more early, you can see the capacity and the ability of the defender to anticipate the action of the attackant. And so the defender is actually trying to intercept the virtual guy, so that the perception is done in action, which is very interesting compared to using a simple video with a static posture. Another promise of VR is the possibility to isolate and train sub-skills. For example, this goalkeeper of the Stade Rennais Football Club is training himself in order to follow the trajectory of different players on the terrain. And so if he's doing this on a real terrain and a real situation, there are many things that can disturb the attention. And so we develop a system in virtual reality, which the name is 3D multiple object tracking. And the idea is to be able to track different spheres with different colors in space. And after that, the idea is to train the goalkeeper to follow all these trajectories, not only using the central view, but also the peripheral view. And so we can demonstrate doing this, that this sub-skill can really be improved using virtual reality and can have an impact on the terrain for this goalkeeper. Another promise is also the motivation using technology for less expert players, in which the idea is that by using virtual reality and video games and serious games, people will increase the number of repetition of this training. So it's a work performed with Artefacto in collaboration with some clubs in karate, and the idea is to support the coaching of a karate coach who is giving a lesson, and after the lesson people can continue to work the lesson at home in order to increase the number of repetition and to increase performance. And you have a virtual coach that is able to analyze your motion and to give you the feedback according to the recommendation of the actual coach. So the idea is really to complete and to support coaching, not to replace coaching. Another point is that in virtual reality, you can also augment the information delivered to the user. For example, imagine this free throw in basketball. So free throw is throwing a ball at a very long distance in a small aim. And so the idea is to, if you do that, it's a very complex task. And the idea here in virtual reality is to help people to find the good motion and the good trajectory by displaying some circles in which the ball should go to have a perfect free throw. And so using this, we have demonstrated that in VR, using this system, the performance of people using the system in VR can actually is better than without using the system. So this complementary, this addition of information actually improves the performance of the user. Another point is that also virtual reality is a safe environment. It means that, for example, in boxing like this, you can increase the number of repetition in order to train yourself to anticipate the action of the opponent and your decision-making process without getting some real punch. And so you preserve your health and you can increase the number of repetition like this. By the way, you need, of course, to control the opponent in order to interact in a realistic manner. So it's a project that is performed with Région Bretagne and for beginners. And now we are extending the project to elite Olympic French boxers in collaboration with INSEP in order to see how this kind of system can help elite boxers to improve their performance. Another point also is that in VR, you can not only be alone, but you can share your environment with other people. And so you have this collaboration between people in a virtual environment. And we use this collaboration in order to train and to analyze interpersonal collaboration, especially, for example, in this example, in volleyball. Maybe you all experience this situation. The ball is arriving exactly in the middle between the two defenders. And so it leads to some failure. And so here we analyzed using VR what is actually the interpersonal distance beyond which it's not working, and we have this very careful analysis of the decision making according to the placement of these two guys. And so the idea is to be able, like for the rugby, to quantify the ability to collaborate with this interpersonal collaboration. Another point, we saw a very nice talk of Alexandre Boucher from Clarté about archers. We did something similar with gunshot, in which, in fact, the idea is to anticipate the future condition and anxious condition of competition compared to a very safety condition in training. And so we have demonstrated that VR can actually generate anxiety and stress if you simulate, for example, aggressive opponents, aggressive crowds, or journalists that are around you. And so we have demonstrated that actually VR can generate this kind of thing. So you can imagine that you have the CAD digital mock-up of the future competition building, and so you can train directly in this building with a crowd that you can control to be aggressive, to be positive, and so on. And so you can still have some different stimulus in order to make people get prepared of the future anxious situation. And also, you can use virtual reality for many other reasons, and creativity is a point here. And I just mentioned here the work of Eon Reality in order to replace the blackboard, traditional blackboard in American football, so that you can immerse in different strategy and you can see as a coach or as a player how this strategy can be implemented in real and how you can perceive this strategy. But of course, it also has some limits. The first limit is due to technology, and so when a user is doing an action, the first thing is you have to capture the motion of this user, and according to the motion of this user, you have to be able, through an interaction model, to measure the performance and what are the actual actions to recognize the action of the user, so that you can modify through a simulation the virtual environment to react correctly. If you push a ball, the ball should move. And according to that, you will compute multisensorial feedback that also goes through different types of devices in order to have auditory feedback, visual feedback, tactile feedback, and so on. And of course, all these boxes lead to some technological and scientific challenges. And in that case is due to this very strange interaction, not unnatural interaction, because naturally when you interact with the environment, you don't have all these boxes. All these boxes can add some delays, and they can also add some noise and something not realistic. And so at the moment you can wonder, does it really train, when you are training in VR, do you really train to real expertise? It means that did the expertise you train in VR can be transferred to your real practice and real experience? I just take an example. If you are playing with Wii Tennis, you will become an expert in Wii Tennis and maybe the world champion of Wii Tennis on your computer. But if you go back to tennis, really, you did not increase your performance in tennis. So it means that, in fact, you train to a task, which is a task that is the game, which is not actually the tennis playing. And so a very big question people have to ask when they develop such a system is the transfer of skills between virtual and real world. And so, of course, this work is a collaboration between many people. So if you have any question, please contact us.